Granada is the must-visit place in Spain. What to do in Granada, what places to see, I'm going to tell you all of that in this video. The must-see place in Granada is Alhambra. Granada was the last Muslim kingdom of Iberian Peninsula until 1492, and Alhambra is the Moorish palace fortress located in Granada built by Nasrid kingdom from 12th century to 14th century. There are four parts of Alhambra. The first part I visited is called Handrelife, which are Moorish kings, vegetable and fruit gardens, and summer palace as their residence.
In 14th century, there were about 1,000 residents in Alhambra who enjoyed fresh fruit and vegetables grown in this area. This is Sultan's summer palace, which is decorated by Moorish art on the wall, Quranic verses which are engraved, as well as geometric figures from the time period of 13th and 14th century.
As you enter the Handrelife, there is a beautiful courtyard. There are two structures at the end, and then there are pools in between. This is called Esiquia Courtyard. It is entry point to the premise. Water for in this pool, as well as for the irrigation in this fertile area, used to be irrigated from the river at the bottom of the hill, Darro River, using natural irrigation systems. There was a prayer area for Muslims to perform prayers in the Moorish time period and an area to wash themselves before they start praying. This is Wine Gate through which you enter to the palaces and rest of the Alhambra sections.
Nasrid Palace is the most important part of Alhambra. Make sure you buy the ticket in advance for the Nasrid Palace. The beauty and grandeur of this place is unmatchable and indescribable. Pictures can't do any justice to this wonder of world. There are elements of peace, tranquility, and melancholy inside Nasrid Palace, and you are transported to another era and zone. This is the greatest piece of not only Islamic legacy of Spain, but of mankind from Middle Ages. It was built 700 years ago, but still it is so elegant, intricate, symmetric, and full of secrets. Bubbling water fountains give the palace a desert oasis feel. This is courtyard of myrtle, which is named for the fragrant myrtle hedges that add to the courtyard's charm. Very relaxing and peaceful. These are honeycomb arches, trademark of Alhambra.
This is Hall of Ambassador, palace largest room, the throne room, not the iron throne. Here Sultan received foreign emissaries sitting on throne. The roof of this hall is simply exquisite, suggesting complexities of Allah's infinite universe. One Quranic verse is engraved multiple times in this room, Wala ghalibulullah. Allah is victorious. This is engraved in the palace 9,000 times. In 1492, two important events took place in this room. The last Moorish king Bobadil surrendered in front of Catholic monarchs. And then the second event was Columbus made his final proposal to Isabel and Ferdinand for a sea voyage to Far East Asia.
Next section is Courtyard of Lions. As Nasrid Palace is the most important part of Alhambra, Courtyard of Lions is the most important part of Nasrid Palace. This delightful courtyard, surrounded by beautifully engraved arches, is named for the famous fountain at its center with its ring of 12 marble lions, original from 14th century. This fountain used to be a clock in Muslim time period in which water would come out of a different lion's mouth depending on the time of day. Christian reconquerors dismantled the clock to learn how it functioned, and it never worked again as a clock. It was in 2012 that it started to work again as a fountain. The arched gallery that surrounds the courtyard is supported by 124 perfectly balanced columns. The craftsmanship is first class. For example, the lead fittings between the sections of the columns allow things to flex during earthquakes, preventing destruction. On the side, there is Hall of King, which is famous for its paintings. This painting shows 10 of Alhambra's 22 sultans from Nasrid Kingdom. This is Hall of Ibn Sarajis. This was the Sultan's living room with an exquisite ceiling based on the eight-sided Muslim star. The name of this room comes from a bloody event in which father of last King Bobadil invited members of North American Abbasinerjis family and massacred all of them. As you come out of the Nasrid Palace, you can enjoy the view of the Albayzin neighborhood, the old Moorish town on the opposite hill. The small building is the prayer room for the Sultan. This is Partal Gardens, which are built upon the ruins of the Partal Palace. Al-Kazaba is the third section of Alhambra. One can go there to view the Albayzin neighborhood, Granada, as well as Sierra Nevada mountain.
This is Church of Santa Maria, which was built by Catholics on an old mosque from Moorish time period. On the other side of church, this is the palace of Charles V, where we are going to go next.
Charles V demolished major part of Alhambra to build this palace in 15th century, but this was never used as a palace. Now it has art museum and Alhambra museum. There were 7 palaces in Alhambra which were built during 150 years. Only 2 palaces are remained. Napoleon also resided in Alhambra and he destroyed major part of Alhambra in 18th century.
Next to Alhambra is the Albayzin neighborhood. This is the area where Moorish used to live. You can see their hammam. There are narrow streets going towards up at the hill of Albayzin, and there are Moorish houses located. You can buy Al Andalusian monument ticket and visit some of these places. You can also go to Archaeological Museum of Granada, which is a small museum. Muslims ruled Iberian Peninsula for 700 years. As the Christian Reconquesta gradually moved south, taking Cordoba in 1237 and Sevilla in 1248, displaced Muslims relocated to Granada as the last Islamic kingdom of Spain. By 1400, there were approximately 100,000 Muslims in Granada, mostly settled in the Albayzin area. The palace of the mother of last Muslim king Babadil, with a beautiful view of Albayzin and the Sierra Nevada mountains. At the top of the hill, this is Church of San Cristobal, which was founded on an old mosque. After Catholics took over, they converted 20 mosques into churches in Granada. In 1492, it was agreed between exiled Muslim king and Catholics that Muslims in Granada would coexist with Christians. However, it was overturned in early 15th century and Muslims were asked to convert to Christianity or leave. Those who converted were called Moriscos. Throughout 15th century, Inquisition was conducted to assess their conversion with brutal punishment. Towards the end of 15th century, Moriscos were relocated from Granada to other parts of Spain. In early 16th century, under King Philip III, Moriscos were expelled from Spain to North African countries. Granada is worth visiting during night time with all the ongoing festivities, especially if it is Christmas or New Year time period. Take a historical tour in the old town of Granada and find quite a few structures from the Moorish time period, such as Corral del Carmen, which was a merchant place, Alqueceria, which is a bazaar. Isabel La Católica has statues of Queen Isabel and Christopher Columbus, demonstrating the historical event in 1492 when Columbus requested approval from Isabel for his voyage. Plaza Bibramla was once the center of Moorish Granada. This was the main square, the focal point for markets and festival, but it was much smaller then. Later on, during Christian rule, Inquisition was also conducted at this place. Now it has restaurants, coffee shops, and lots of festivities ongoing. This church was also built on an old mosque. Royal Chancellery building was built in early 15th century by Queen Isabel for judiciary related matters. This square had many important Moorish buildings such as a mosque and an Islamic school.
This is Royal Chapel where Isabella and Ferdinand are buried. This used to be a Quranic place, institute, where kids used to read Quran, and then the masjid was here. Can't take video inside. Oranges on trees. This is the area where Cathedral and Royal Chapel is.
Great Mosque of Granada is the first mosque built in Granada after 600 years since 1492. Granada has a sizable Muslim population now, which comprises of Muslim immigrants, mostly from Morocco and other countries, and then the Spanish converts. Built in 2003, this mosque has a peaceful view courtyard and a minaret tower that comes with a live call to prayer 5 times a day. Visitors are welcome in the courtyard, which offers panoramic views of Alhambra.
Revitalizar y fortalecer nuestro iman, volver a saborear de verdad la dulzura del iman, de la fe, del dhikr, del deleite del salat.
During your visit to Granada, you must visit this mosque because it has a very strong relevance to Granada's Islamic past. Today there are almost 2 million Muslims in Spain, 6 centuries after Reconquesta. When you look at the Alhambra from the mosque's garden, you are witnessing something built not by outsiders but by the people of Granada who in that era were Muslims and spoke Arabic. This mosque is an acknowledgement of Islam's great importance to Grenada's cultural fabric. There is no ticket to visit mosque. You can buy Moroccan tea or Arabic dessert for €1 to support the mosque. This is the area around Granada Mosque.
People waiting for the sunset view at San Nicolas lookout point
这里适合拍一个视频。
for Alhambra.
我要去的歌手那个地方拍视频。
This is the edge of Albayzin, and it is one of Europe's most romantic viewpoint. To best enjoy it, be here at sunset when the Alhambra glows red. Now some recommendation for dining in Granada. Granada offer a lot of variety in different type of cuisine. There are some excellent Moroccan and Middle Eastern places such as Restaurant Palacio Andalus Almona and Restaurant Tetria Real Vera. And this place for authentic Spanish desserts. Granada is an amazing city due to its history, architecture, scenery, and fun environment. I would definitely like to come back here. Like my video, subscribe to my channel for more upcoming videos.